Ladies and gentlemen, we have Allied air support coming in to change the tune of the battle. Plus T-34, waiting on the flank for something. Not sure what. Hitting the Brumbar with all the rockets it can. Oh my god, even a kamikaze! Hello everyone, this is Greyshot17 here bringing you the first game of the Ultimate Team Tournament 2. I am so happy to be casting this series in its full entirety, so I am super pumped for that. Hopefully everyone watching, you guys enjoy these series of games, starting off with BartonPL and Orangepest as an American and a Soviet versus Olvadi and Fire and Terror. Now, usually I am accompanied by CS. He isn't currently unavailable at the moment due to some personal stuff, I believe. So in the meantime, I will be casting this game alone. Will I succeed? Will I not? That is for you to decide. But in the meantime, hopefully you guys can enjoy some amazing tactics from these four incredible players. BartonPL and Orangepest, Olvadi and Fire Terror. Once again, Vermach and OKW. Just fantastic players all around to get to this level. So let's see how they do against each other in this tournament. Note any notifications will be delayed until after the game, and then I will of course read out everything. But let's get to it. BartonPL going with Urban Assault. Again, having those awesome Rangers with the bazooka teams doing so much damage to enemy armor and close range infantry. But right now we're with the initial starter set, and we actually do have a special unit coming out, the sniper, conscripts and engineers as well. We have an MG currently guarding the point with some grenadiers grabbing the point. Again, not bad, trying to get as many resources as possible. Oh, American Barton going with rear echelons. Again, we can see a rifle grenade deploy very early on, so very excited for that. Oh, big push, though, by Fire and Terror against rear echelons. Will they be able to hold out? They are in cover and trying their best. Every single squad is doing what they can, focusing on the Sturms to remove that close proximity damage. They do push them back. Rear echelons retreating without the fear of being KO'd. And so far, they are holding, but the one Volk squad is remaining firm. Conscripts coming in to hold the line. Again, trying to hold that cap and protect their fuel source. And seems that they are mostly succeeding. Looks like the conscripts will tip the scale in the Allies' favor. And Fire and Terror has a full retreat, a route away as the American and Soviet Orangepest and Barton hold this area. We do have some forces, though, coming on in to assist. Volk squad getting in the building, trying their best to be able to at least put some fire on these guys. But note, one of the best things about this doctrine is the rifle grenade, which I'm assuming he's going to be using in full force, which fires an automatic rifle grenade at the enemy with catastrophic damage inbound. Grenadiers pushing on in against the conscripts, hitting him from two different flanks. No cover, absolutely has to pull on back. Sniper finally coming on in. It looks like he did get some shots. Note, Olvadi going mostly Grenadiers, but does have an MG, and again, that Pioneer squad to help out on the front and try to hold that territory. MG kind of pushing on in maybe for a little bit more of an ambush, but unfortunately does have to watch out for that sniper slowly picking it apart. Right now, Grenadiers trying to hold the front and grab those munitions, but at least even though the Germans did lose that initial engagement, they do have two VPs right now and are trying to bring it to a little closer of a VP front. Volk squads as well trying to put fire, but the Allies are coming in force. All the rear echelons seem to be redeploying to the front, although same thing can be said with Fire and Terror, who went first from Doctrine, aka lots of fire and very nice upgrades for your infantry, including a flamethrower for your Stern Pioneer squad and MP40s for the Volk squads. They are advancing. We did see the American, Incendiary pushing them out. Very nice move. He's gonna have to fall on back. Right now, infantry forces coming on in, trying to do what they can to keep these rear echelons from A, getting any of this good cover, and B, drive them out. Especially if they try to gain cover of the building, a flamethrower might say hello to them. Lieutenant still, again, actually on the front, very surprised, and rear echelons luring them back and managed to drive the Germans out. He's in cover, though, but we can see they did drop some barbed wire, so the Germans can't use it as effectively as they may want to. Unfortunately, though, we now have a utility car on the field. Very good anti-infantry unit, and as well for placing mines and using smoke. And looks like... Oh, is he trapped? Oh, he is trapped in there. Echelons are going in for the kill with the utility car. Get the kill on the Volk squad. Managed to keep him in there from their retreat. Remember, if you somehow block the unit in terms of being unable to retreat or move, he won't try to retreat the other way. He'll just kind of stand there and, well, unfortunately get shot in the face until he ends up dying. So really good play there by Barton by killing a unit. Always a good time. But Fire and Terror is not done yet. We do have this Oboe Blitz, which meant for reinforcing and can deploy units, so maybe you can try something with it. Meanwhile, we have Grenadiers coming on in with a 2-2-2 in action against conscripts. No AT grenade is in store. Orangepest does not have any current AT, though he is rectifying that with a ZIS 3. He's deploying that, which is good for anti-infantry with the artillery, and of course for dealing with pesky scout cars on the field. Now, 2-2-2 trying to put some damage on it during the retreat. And yes, good job at least trying to hold this territory. Now, they did knock that VP out, and they did knock out the fuel, but the Germans should be able to quickly rectify that situation. Medical point going down at the base for some heals. And as well, we look over here. Nothing yet, but we do have a mechanized building out. For the Allies, again, same thing. Where's the ambulance? And then over here, do we have medics? We do not. So right now, only one player has the ability to heal. 2-2-2 going after the sniper. Conscripts, once again, no AT grenade. Is that in development? That is not. Sniper has nothing to protect it, except for maybe an AT gun, which I do not see anywhere. Oh, so back here, ladies and gentlemen, Sniper gets KO'd by the 2-2-2, and it's making a hasty retreat. Great kill by Olvadi. Really, now the question is, can it get out in one piece? It is lower on health, but right now there's not much stopping it. And makes it out okay. So good use by the 2-2-2, as well as if I am assuming he goes with something with a little more... No, actually he doesn't. Okay. Wait, well actually no, like an elephant or something like that, you could probably possibly use the scout car as a recon unit for additional sight. You don't always need the scope, but it's always nice to have. Anyway, utility car giving chase to the Germans, trying to get them on the retreat. They did upgrade it with extra plating to increase survivability, and Oboe Blitz as well falling on back. But Panzer II is in development, and most likely will be used to try to hold back this utility car and try to KO it. Now, do the Allies have something to counter? Well, right now we don't have a Tier 3 building unlocked, so a T-70 is not in the cards, or an Su-76. MG is currently going in the building. Utility car going to go have some fun. He isn't doesn't have veterancy yet, so armor-piercing rounds would be my initial call-in. Also, looks like he's going to outplay and just keep maneuvering around. Remember, the MG has to redeploy for each side before it can fire. So that gives the utility car a little bit of time to fire and move. Nice job with the lieutenant being able to push on in. Again, 2-2-2 putting shots, but he does have a bazooka team. You do have to worry about that. Now, the question is, does he have an upgrade available for his men? He does not. He actually is just getting the ambulance right now. And the reason why I bring a vocal point from mechs is that's making sure that you get your units healed. But of course, you want to make sure you have enough men on the field to deal with the enemy. So it's this pulling thing of having enough troops to defend while also making sure they are properly taken care of. Again, so we'll see how things go. Pack gun is on the field, putting shots on the utility, but so far has missed every shot. Bazooka team opening fire, again, missing every shot. Pioneers doing its best, but right now in the open, so yeah, these units are just going to shred it and push it back. Right now, Panzer II is on the field. Now, unfortunately for him, we could activate some armor-piercing rounds, and we are. 50 cal does not care about this, but a smoke is placed to stop its view, and the MG will have to reposition. Now, we do have the Soviet AT trying to put some shots over here. The high wall is not helping him or doing any favors. But luckily, he does manage to destroy it. Nice plus, at least neither yourself nor the enemy could use that in the future. Meanwhile, Orangepest is pushing on left. AT grenades still not an option, so that makes the 2-2-2 just going wild on these unfortunate conscripts without much recourse. But Panzer Grenadiers as well fighting in mid. Bundle grenade being thrown. Unfortunately, not able to squad wipe, but does get 2 models. And enough fires going on. BartonPL loses a unit. Oh, that's a major loss. Although, oh, nice shot here. Panzer II does die, however. good use there. I wonder, was that due to a mine, I wonder? Because I don't see a AT gun or anything, so maybe it was a mine. If so, good use of it. Hold on. No, doesn't have anything. Because this thing has no kills. And right now I don't see any other major AT. Rifle grenades currently being fired. Oh, he does lose one squad, though. Volk squad with MP40 Stern Pioneers holding the back. Now he's trying to get this scout car out of there in one piece, while 2 units are trying to hunt him down. Oh, manages to get some nice shots in, though. Utility car very low on health. 222 might risk it. Unfortunately, 222 got knocked out. So great use of that. Who needs an autocannon when you have a simple machine gun? That being said, the Axis are in full, well, advanced mode right now, but the Soviets are coming in to stop that. Managing to pump in a lot of conscripts, try to keep the enemies back, and right now Fire and Terra and Olvadi are on the full retreat. Olvadi, mind you, by the way, has gone fortified armor, so a lot of really good supportive abilities from smoke to extra defenses, and of course extra bonuses from a command tank, and then of course Orangepest going mechanized support tactics. If you're a Code 2 veteran, you know this doctrine is one of the best in the game by far for its long-range capabilities. Make sure that you can decrease armor survivability, and of course that great strike to knock out enemy defenses. Very munition costly for the guards upgrade, stuff like that, but overall some great units to deploy from this doctrine. So really curious to see if that is going to make a play. Speaking of plays, Fire and Terror is going to play a Puma onto the field. Again, really good at fighting light armor, and once upgraded past its initial few veterancies, it can be a beast, unlike which the Allies really want to face. So we'll see how things currently go. Again, victory point wise, the Germans are doing a very good job of keeping the Allies at bay. Looks like we got Panzerfaust hitting the utility car. Echelon still trying to hold. Again, bit of a risk for having that. Nice mine, by the way, by the Sturms. It's a bit of a risk to have these Echelons instead of normal American infantry, such as riflemen and other units like that. Nice grenade by the MP40 upgraded Volk squads, again, which is why they have a high explosive grenade rather than the incendiary. Stern Pioneers coming on in, doing its best, and does manage to rout the lieutenant. Oh, grenade being thrown. Dodges, though. Puma coming in, although guard troops are right there. No upgrades yet, but they do have anti-tank rifles on them. So the Puma will have to worry a little bit about that. And we have AT grenades. We finally have AT grenades by Orangepest. So that's really good to see. We do have a small push going on the left. So right now conscripts are taking over this capture point and also the fuel, trying to deny the Germans any piece of, any resource they possibly can. Conscripts as well going for mid. Wow, we have a small battle going on. Utility car holding out to the best of its ability. Now they could Panzerfaust this. I don't think that, yeah. You want to make sure you want to get out in time, and I think standing there to fire that Panzerfaust may be a little too long for that thing to survive. Right now, we do have a Stuka being deployed. So Fire and Terror is really doubling down on that mechanized component. Olvadi, you are getting a heavy Panzer Corps. How many resources does he have? A good amount. For, again, for some more substantial armor on the field. Also, yeah, utility car trying to put down some mines, realizing the situation of that AT gun, and decides, nope, I'm going to engage and then immediately retreat. Grenadiers coming on in. They have been upgraded, mind you. A lot of Olvadi's troops have been upgraded. Barton only has 2 units with those really good rifle grenades. Like, don't get me wrong, they are upgraded, but he doesn't have a huge fighting force at his disposal right now, which might be his biggest undoing. Orangepest has a lot of good frontline conscripts, and they have been slowly getting veterancy over time. So good job there. But also, actually, something to point out is, does he have minesweepers? He does not. So neither allied player has any minesweepers. Stuka does come on in, weakens the building to a point where I wouldn't get in it. It would be incredibly unstable for anything to shoot it and kill it. Oh my god, nice take by the Axis, managing to get that 50 cal. AT guns, though, using artillery to push them back. Doesn't get a really great hit in, though. No KOs, no knockouts. But we got another 50 cal trying to hold him back. Interesting deployment. He aimed over here, but the blob's coming in over here. Oh, not blob. It's only 2 units. The forces are coming in over here. Smoke, though, comes on in. He's going to try to rush that MP. The question is, will he be able to? Puma as well, trying to push shots on target. Utility car, have to give it credit, up to Vet 3. Grenades being fired from the rear echelons. MG still holding the area, though. And we got German forces coming on in. Big battle over the VP. Pioneers getting a... Oh, they were getting around the Maxim and they redistributed. Now it's trying to open fire. But it's having the trouble of getting a man on the MG to fire it. And he might actually... Yeah, he might be close to losing it. Oh, that would be terrible. Those 7-man conscripts are now on the field and taking over the left-hand side. Alrighty. So right now, yeah, AT gun has been knocked out and taken fire and terror. Just having a field day with the enemy equipment. We have a 50 cal on his side. We got a Zis on his side. I mean, he's just scavenging everything he possibly can off the battlefield. And you know what? Some of those allied weapons would absolutely be great help for him. Panzer Grenadiers, though, going on these conscripts, building cover. We do have a T-34 on the field. So we do have some actually, you know, a frontline tank compared to the Axis, where the best thing that right now to have the first at would be the Puma. But luckily with a captured AT gun on their side, I'm not worrying about it at all. Orangepest coming on in with that T-34 while Barton's forces fire rifle grenades try to uproot that Volk squad from it. T-34 coming on in, charging head on against the Puma. Puma falling on back to his additional forces. T-34 though has to watch out for the Zis and the Volk squad. Will he get the kill is the question. He gets the kill. Stuka coming in, though. Gets some nice kills. T-34 going around. They need one last shot. Zis lining it up. Gets the kill. And KOs the unit. Although conscripts going in on the dive on the Stuka. Throwing AT grenade. Knocked out its engine. Now just trying to use pure arms fire to reduce it down to 0 health. Sherman on the field by Barton. Trying to continue the advance. Volk squad pulling back, very limited health. Stuka is KO'd by the conscript. Brumbar coming in too little, too late. And right now the Germans are in a full rout when I thought they would be over by the T-34. But no, it broke down the Puma, which allowed additional allied forces to come on in, knock out some of the great German AT guns holding the line and infantry, and help liberate this area for the Allies in order for them to capture and possibly triple VP cap the Axis. A great counterattack by Barton and Orangepest. We have marked target on the field, targeting most likely the Brumbar. Meanwhile, the Sherman's dealing with a bigger threat, the Pak-40. Trying to push them back. Seems to be working out pretty well for him. Although he wants to probably go for the kill, but as we can see, he has armor-piercing rounds, not high explosive. Meanwhile, guard troops upgraded with DPs are holding mid. And Grenadiers, though, are taking the left-hand side. So they won't be triple VP capped, but they will continue to be doubled. And hopefully that gives the Allies a little bit of breathing room for them to hold down some areas, get some heals, and kind of prepare for the Axis counterattack, which we all know is coming. Fire and Terror, though, remember, he doubled down on the mechanized, so we cannot get any additional heavier armored units, such as the Panzer IV, the Panther. He's stuck until he gets a Panzer headquarters, or he gets, you know, a Puma or something like that to assist him. So, what will happen in this fight? Meanwhile, 50 cal trying to keep them pinned. Smoke grenade being thrown to stop that pin. MG being taken, at the very least. Get the heck out of there before you get roasted. I meant that for the German. Because the Sherman is in town, and he has the high explosive rounds on. Major artillery coming on down. Utility car just causing havoc. 14 kills, stopping the AT gun from retreating. Great play on his part. Now, if the Allies can either take it or decommission it, that'll be a nice win. Sherman, Barton going after him. Unfortunately, there's a Pak-40 lying in wait in the base. Come on, fire. There we go. Finally got a shot off on target. Oh, good. You're using your truck to heal. Great. Sherman retreating like, I'm not dealing with that just yet. Conscript 7-man squads pushing back the MGs. And with one foul swoop, we're looking at the Allies having a bit more map control and superiority on the field. It's not that... Oh, Panzer headquarters being developed. Sherman, though, realizing the situation, trying to get some shots on target. I don't know if that Major was able to call off its strike or not, but it did have to retreat. Meanwhile, we do have an AT gun, looks like setting up to attack. We have double MGs as well, holding back the infantry. And yeah, Sherman's probably going to go in there and try to get some more shots. If they kill that base, that's well, right now it has Plane Strike Quarters authorization upgraded. That's 120 fuel down the drain. For getting a nice shot on target, but the double 50 cals are going to easily push that thing back. So yeah, Brumbar just chilling in mid. I mean, there's definitely infantry that he wants to take out for sure, and he has his own front to handle. But right now, things are a little wary on the right. Although Barton seems to be in a position where he's going to fall back a little bit. Oh, we might have some pathfinding issues here. They're trying to heal, but they can't seem to get to the tank. Double 50 cal, they're going to immediately push back the Sturm. But Brumbar coming on in, might be able to get a nice shot on both of them. Fires over the building, gets a good shot on the MG, forcing one of them back. Meanwhile, we have the vehicle crew charging. I guess they want to take part in the battle. Love it when a vehicle crew just decides, I'm going to walk away from my tank. Great shot by the Zis 3. Again, almost kills the Grenadier squad, which would have been a nice little win right there. But the artillery is enough to at least push the Germans back, although does not stop them from taking over the point. Brumbar going in a little bit damaged, needs to worry about those conscripts and their pesky AT grenades, though they are pushing back on left to grab the fuel and the VP. Meanwhile, we have a bit more of a battle going on. Fire and Terror charging in, but being shredded by those high explosive rounds and the echelons. And being, oh my god, great kill by the Sherman with high explosive rounds. Again, plenty of AT still on this front, so if anything is moved up armor-wise, it will be immediately, held up. Meanwhile, Sherman's trying to keep that infantry back, gets more great shots on target, and manages to drive them out. Though, one shot from a pack does manage to at least keep the Sherman at bay, though it did miss. Oh, wait. Brumbar hit by that AT grenade I mentioned earlier. Also, really nice job with the veterancy on these conscripts. Again, right now, 15 kills, 16 kills on conscripts. Pretty impressive. But will Orangepest try to push on in and kill the Brumbar? It is half health. It's not in a incredibly low state, but it's still at a weaker state to where if they try to push up, they could knock it out. Now, I'm assuming he's trying to go back here for some heals for Fire and Terror. But Pack 40 pulling on back. Brumbar might be able to get a nice shot on target. But meanwhile, that Sherman, with now a bulldozer upgrade, aka the dozer blade, still keeps its high explosive rounds and armor piercing rounds, turret. But now it gets additional armor and, of course, can build some walls for cover, of course. Now, MG trying to hold him back, but a pesky major artillery, unfortunately, is going to drive him out. Can he? Oh, Verkenwerfer, you're walking into the wrong fight, man. Artillery's coming on down, managing to weaken the MG down to 2 models. 1 model remaining, and gets a great kill with the echelons, who initially had reservations on, but currently doing excellent work to hold back the Germans. Though, hold on. Their kill count is a little bit lower. A little bit lower than I would like, but still, it's fine. They're doing work and allowing the Shermans some infantry support, which is greatly needed. Brumbar did make back to base, by the way. Right now, Fire and Terror, not enough to get armor. He's still probably a few minutes out from getting said armor. Also, oh man, no one can have that MG, can they? I mean, it's MG34, so I don't want it, but the Germans might. Panzer Grenadiers being driven back. MG trying to hold them at bay. Brumbar coming back in, but again, Soviets have it, and even the American has a Soviet AT gun at this point. The Brumbar has to worry, at the very least. Panzer Headquarters, though, if they get too close, we'll start firing all this stuff. Nice use of the... I love this positioning, because, again, it's going to be harder for those AT guns to hit him right, while he can just keep straying the infantry. Verkenwerfer, though, does come on in, gets a nice shot on the utility car. I wonder if he's trying to target this thing, as that's the biggest threat on the field, not the Shermans. Fortunately, a bit of a bounce right there. Verkenwerfer's advancing, but remember, there's all this infantry here, including the 50 cal. Oh, wait, we got a Stuka bomb strike inbound on target. Nice shot, knocks out the AT gun. Also, 50 cal taken. Unfortunately, Verkenwerfer decrewed. But the Shermans are driven back, and the Axis are actually going to be taking some territory. Hopefully, a little bit of a comeback. Although Brumbar, once again, very weak. We'll need to fix that up a little bit. Alrighty, but yeah, so they're going to heal up. Look, there's not many defenses or anything over here. It's just more wide open. Again, we had some conscripts building some cover. But honestly, not too much action going on. Grenadiers, at the very least, grabbing some very important territory. I love how the fact they're taking munitions away from their, like, closer to the base, but that just makes sense. Unfortunately, they've been having a lot of fights over here. We haven't really seen too much action on this other side, not because there hasn't been, like, some interesting plays. It's just most of the Soviet stuff like that are really driving up the right-hand side from that early T-34. So they probably see that side as more important. But the Soviets launching a bit of a counterattack. Grenadiers, by the way, Vet 3 versus some guard troops, Vet 2. Unfortunately, they're out of cover while the guard troops are in cover. So that did not help at all. MG going to suppress the Grenadier squad. Brumbar going on in. Hopefully they manage to push back these conscripts. Takes the shot, but the conscripts do a nice dodge. And doesn't really take too much damage. Grenadiers going to decap the point. I don't think they'll grab it. I think they'll be suppressed. And ladies and gentlemen, we do have an ISU 152 on the field right now, but on the right-hand side. Also got to give it up to the Allies for putting down some caches. If they can, that's always incredibly helpful for long-term use. Sherman now coming on over here. Barton's like, all right, that's it. All Allied forces converge on the Brumbar. Now, do they have anything to protect it? Well, right now he's kind of hiding in the smoke. Again, we could see a smoke drop. Oh, sorry, not smoke drop. What am I saying? Oh my god, I'm immediately saw it. I'm like, yeah, smoke drop. No. Brumbar immediately KO'd. Elephants on the field, though, coming on in to help. But nice job with the Shermans knocking it out. For Keinwerfers, though, putting them out, but the Shermans are dropping smoke, blocking their sight. They can direct fire through it, but it's less accurate to an extent. And yeah, they'll fall on back. MG's trying to suppress, but alas, with that cover, I don't think they'll be able to. A lot of AT guns, but no infantry support, so the guard troops just gonna have a field day hitting them. Utility car on standby. Maybe try to advance. Right now in mid, even though it's kind of under contention, it looks like the Soviets might have a bit of an upper hand on this situation. They have high explosive rounds on, mind you. So if they get a good shot, and they do, oh, Verkenwerfer is going to have a rough time. Down to 2 models. Does not have the MG, but does still manage to get the kill on it. Or the utility car is able to. Someone did. Elephant, though, and Pack are going to open fire on this thing. Weaken it down quite a bit. Down to about a quarter of health left. ISU 152 needs to pull back to a better vantage point. Though, we do have some artillery support inbound via the Sherman Calliope. And right now, the Germans are in a bit of a close-knit area. So if they can try to hit that, or maybe hit the upcoming reinforcements, very helpful. We have a shot on the Elephant, but unfortunately we have a bounce. Panzer Grenadiers are in the building, trying to flank all the support equipment. And looks like they'll manage it, throwing a grenade on the MG, forcing it back. Not only 1 model dead, but it does a bit of health damage. Panzer Grenadiers now focusing on the guards, and the entire Soviet support force is now routed. Conscripts, though, fortunately, a flamethrower unit up here, are going to overwhelm those Panzer Grenadiers. They're running in open cover, while the conscripts themselves are at least in some cover. Not all of them are in cover, but at least it's something. Major using recon. I'm maybe trying to find out where this Elephant is. ISU 152, though, thank God for the echelons, because they just gave it a quick repair. And now it's quickly coming back. Calliope, though, opening fire right where the Elephant used to be. But the Elephant, realizing the situation, pulls on back before really any damage could be taken. Although, Sudani got dangerously close to the impact area. Armor-piercing rounds are currently loaded in the gun, also not firing. Olvadi using recon to try to go over the area. Echelons coming on in. Firing a ton of grenades right now at that MG, forcing it back. And might, 2 models remaining on it. Utility car trying to go in for the kill as well. And yeah, the MG is trying to hold. Meanwhile, Echelons are opening fire on targets. They get some nice grenades on it. Also, Don, though, retreating. Echelons might be able to pick it off if they focus. And they will focus. Is it going to be enough? No, the MG is going to suppress them in time. I didn't realize that was a thing, but now this is a thing. This is now a thing. Fortunately, I can't get everyone on the field, so sometimes I miss something. Unfortunately, apparently I missed a Sherman being captured by, well, the Germans. Fire and Terror just has a Sherman with a dozer blade on it. Not exactly great to see. And it looks like the other Sherman may have met its match somewhere on the battlefield. I am unsure where. But Germans reinforcing mid, holding the point down. And with those units going on, plus a Panther on the field now going over, which, oh boy, Germans may have gotten a little bit of an upper hand on the field. Elephant putting some shots on the T-34. Could go in for a ram and an IL-2 bomb strike, but not enough munitions for that. Calliope coming on and getting some great shots. ICM-52 diving on the right with armor-piercing rounds, not high explosives. The infantry should be relatively fine. He might be going for the Panzer headquarters, but the Elephant realizing this, going in for target. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Panther running into all this infantry decides, I'm not really cut out for this. We'll bring up the Sherman. With high explosive rounds on, they'll open fire, gets a good shot on the engineers, and drives them back. Meanwhile, ISU-52 still putting shots, but the Elephant hits it. Now, right now, the Panther's going on in with the Sherman. They could be going for a group effort over here. A little bit of a tag team, mind you. I know that you probably haven't heard those two words today. But maybe try to drive in and force the ISU-152. No, doesn't look like they'll be able to really do anything on it. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, MG trying to stop the Grenadier squad. Ziskin on standby. We got ourselves a command tank on the field, which again helps with survivability on all units in its proximity. T-34 going in for the dive. Panther backs on up though. Oh my god! Barely manages not to be hit. And the Panzer headquarters with the Panther will get a quick kill on the Sherman. Meanwhile, the ISU-152 will get some shots on the German Sherman. But yeah, should be able to get out in one piece. Not from the lack of trying, mind you. ISU-152 still trying to push on in. But the Elephant saying, not today, and drives it back. Though we do have bazooka teams with Rangers. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, Rangers get a huge boost in penetration and damage with their bazooka teams, making them incredibly deadly. Plus, they get 3 instead of 2. So we can count there. All 3 have been equipped. So this is a very dangerous anti-armor unit on the field. Meanwhile, Command Tank just running over guards troops on mid because, yes, Soviets in our treads. What an excellent day for a drive. But Sherman needs some heals. Elephant still doing pretty well in mid. And right now, the left-hand side, Grenadiers and the Panzer Grenadiers are capturing it. Munition-wise, still a bit iffy for the Germans. Allies doing a slightly better. Calliope now coming down on mid, hitting the MG, bringing it down to lower health. Right now, a lot of infantry. Great bundle grenade by the Obel knocks out the MG. Lieutenant, though, quickly getting it back up. MG needs to look the other way if it's going to help, though. And right now, the Ranger squad trying to help in mid. Remember, it is designed, though, for anti-armor now. So against infantry, it's going to be lacking in that regard. T-34, though, on the field, coming on in trying to help. Oh, boy. That's another one. Maybe they can get some good rams in. But Olvadi and Fire and Terror are prepped and ready to go against another hopeful ram, as we saw before. T-34 going all the way around. Again, there's an MG here, but not really any mines or anything to stop a T-34 from coming around that. Elephant taking some damage from the Zis, down to about 15% health. Not too much, but it's enough to AT grenade could pin it. Meanwhile, infantry on left having a rough day as the T-34 does get behind them, and there's not really any anti-armor. Though that will change shortly as the Panther, realizing his allies' need for assistance, comes on in to try to help out. Plus a pack gun being redistributed to the field. Olvadi and Fire and Terror trying to make sure that T-34 doesn't go in for any valuable targets. Also, have to give a shout out to the caches in the back by Olvadi, definitely helping out his German ally. But actually, resource-wise, it's pretty even across the board. Allies have a little more fuel because of the cache in the back, but it's still neck and neck on this front. Armor-piercing rounds being fired. MG still holding the point, though. I think there was a mine that he hit. A little flare mine. Elephant being redistributed on the left with the command tank. A lot of infantry, though. Not really a great thing for this thing to fight. But we still have the Calliope. We still have the ICM-52 on the front. On the right, we have a Jackson on the field. So at least he has something. Meanwhile, Panther is pulling on back. Command tank trying to help finish this infantry off. Nice Calliope hit. Knocking out the MG and almost killing the Pioneer squad. Plus a great round on the Elephant, bringing its health down quite considerably. Also, unfortunately, the German Sherman has been neutralized. Stuka, though, coming on in, not hurting the MG a little bit. Nice shots by the Ranger, bringing the Elephant's health down more, but it does drop smoke to make sure it can escape. Meanwhile, conscripts pushing left with some engineers, but unfortunately, might be unfortunately suppressed by that MG and not really gain much ground. Although Jackson diving the elephant. Oh no, it's turned the wrong way. And the IS-152, and both of them are hitting it. Gets the kill. Jackson as well going in for the Stuka, and possibly even the command tank could be a viable target. Where is the Panther? Where is target? And Olvadi surrenders with fire and terror. Great game. Great game. Great way to start off even. Oh my god. Yeah, gotta give it up to Orangepest and Barton. They may have been on the, they may have had maybe spent a good chunk of this game on the back foot. But that being said, when they wanted to strike, when they knew that an opportunity was open, they dove, and usually they dove well, except for maybe a T-34, but we'll ignore that one thing. But yeah, no, they got some great plays. Remember, never have the elephant rear face the enemy, as that opens up to rear armor hits. But good dive on their part. Unfortunately, a lack of, well, AT and other forces kind of stopped them. But gotta give it up to Olvadi. Again, look at the veterancy on a lot of his troops. Again, the Soviets, equally so, but definitely losing a bit more. Again, the American Echelons, not a ton of kills, but they were doing some nice support. And again, they're great for, helpful infantry on the front, whether healing infantry or trying to get through MGs, etc. And then Fire and Terror, if we jump over to him real quick. Again, some decent veterancy all around. But yeah, very close game. I am very surprised, but great dive by Orangepest and Barton. The dive sealed the deal and helped knock out the armor. Damage-wise, how we looking? Oh, Fire and Terror, like you already, 117, perfect. But overall, Orangepest got more damage. Barton got more kills. Fire and Terror was a little bit lower in terms of damage and kills. But that being said, not too much difference compared to Olvadi. Both of them played extremely well. The mechanized focus on Fire and Terror, I don't know. And again, and also the Brumbar, you can argue if that was the best course of action, as it did put them in a bad situation. But once they did that fierce counterattack, there was a good part there, especially when they captured the American Sherman. I truly thought they had this at least closer to victory than Barton and Orangepest, especially with the Elephant usually outdoing the IS-152. But it was just lying in wait, playing dumb until the right time to really do that devastating strike against the enemy. So really great game there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that first game. Oh, great game. Oh, by the way, the cat is back, for those who are asking. The cat is in her spot. She's just being cute and adorable, and I don't want to move her. Hello, everyone. This is a Greyshot 117 here, bringing you another, well, hopefully incredible game with players Fire and Terror and Olvadi playing as the American and Soviets, respectively. No Brits so far in these rounds, with BartonPL and Orangepest. For those who don't know, if you missed out in the last incredible game, for a good chunk of time, it seemed like Barton and Orangepest were on the back foot, but a decisive armored counterattack decisively broke through the lines of Fire and Terror and Olvadi and took them out of the game. So we'll see how they do in this round. Barton, by the way, going Jaeger Infantry, and Fire and Terror going Airborne. So good, Pathfinder, Jaeger Infantry combat, maybe. Anyway, we're on rails and metal and just kind of going everything real quick. So, all right, cover already being made. All right, very interesting way to, have something to do while you're capturing the point. Already building barbed wire. We're not seeing, though, the rear echelons we saw before. Fire and Terror deciding I'm going to just get normal infantry with Pathfinders and Riflemen on the field. Storm Pioneers going on in, closing the gap. The question is, will they be able to do enough damage to hold the Americans back? And I don't think that's the case. I think there's enough firepower to definitely drive them away, and I think he realized as well, Orangepest pulling on back. Orangepest, by the way, going breakthrough for better infantry and armor support. So, very great to see. And just, as a heads up, this tournament is going on today, tomorrow, and the entirety of next weekend as well. So if you missed out on one of those days, you still got plenty of action in store for you. Meanwhile, let's see, Orangepest trying to grab munitions on the left-hand side. We got some defenses being made. Conscripts, though, being pushed by Pioneers. Better at close range. I don't think they'll win this fight, but at least they'll give them a run for their money. Conscripts opening fire on the MG, trying to provide support, but having some issues themselves. Meanwhile, we got Pathfinders doing some good shots on the Volks, but again, Pioneers coming on in. And yeah, looks like Barton's going with Pioneers and an MG. A little bit risky because you don't have the frontline troops, and if you did something a bit more mobile, like a vehicle, it could break it, but it looks like we have a lot of conscripts on the field, so the MGs are holding until a conscript squad oorahing through the MG bullets, manages to get around the MG fire, and managed to put some pressure on Barton's MG, making it very unlikely that he'll be able to hold that left-hand side. MG still falling on back, but playing coy with the conscripts. They might try to go in to hit this MG over here, and while he is decently positioned, a flank where this conscript is currently going will undo him. Although the other MG is coming up from behind, but it might be too little too late. We do have Orangepest coming in to help his ally out from the side, and the conscripts are putting some nice shots on the MG, forcing him back, allowing them to take the territory. But as you can see, defenses are here, so the allies have a bit more trouble taking that point. Anyway, conscripts hold up in the building. Now we're being asked to come out by the Germans. Unfortunately, wrong area. Well, actually, no. I think that would probably have been better than coming out the back. But unfortunately, right in front of all the German fire. Does manage to live, however. And in mid, we do have riflemen coming on in. Bit of a hodgepodge of units, though, by Fire and Terror, where I at least give their echelons a little more consistency. Panzer Grenadiers being deployed by Barton, so it looks like he's just skipping over, well, anything in the Tier 1 building, and decides, nah, Panzer Grenadiers, that's how I'm going to do this. But again, worried about AT, right? That's my biggest concern. Conscripts, though, still in the front, trying to fight, but alas, might be a little too much for them to handle. Not only do they have all these Pioneers in that Panzerfusilier squad, but you have the MG and Panzer Grenadiers coming around the side, which could be unfortunate for them. They are going to hold on to this point and give it one heck of a battle, and it looks like they'll win it. Meanwhile, let's see right now. Panzerfusilier is very low on health. Get back to base! Get some heals! Do you have a forward medical? No. I think he was just trying to make sure he got behind so he didn't, unfortunately, get sniped by the conscript squad and taken out. Unfortunately, conscript squad, realizing this MG is wide open for the manhandling, goes on and gets some great shots in and forces him back. Meanwhile, MG and Pathfinders coming on in against the Panzerfusilier squad. Rialvas just putting some shots on target, and they do have a good chunk of this area, so the Allies doing very well with VPs and overall resources against the Germans. But Germans not giving up without a fight, and they're still holding on to this territory, though the 50 cows coming on in, continuously forcing this Panzerfusilier squad back. Alas, not able to get outside of its range before it opens fire. It's right now suppressed and probably will have to retreat back to base. Meanwhile, flamethrower unit on the field, aka the Pioneer with a flamethrower, so not a bad idea, pushes them out of cover. So if he tries to get in the trench, a good old flamethrower help force them out. Panzer Grenadiers behind cover, firing at range with conscripts. I would say conscripts pretty much have that battle, especially having numerical superiority. But yeah, now we have more Panzer Grenadiers on the field. Again, the reason why I'm a little bit iffy about like Pioneers is you do need to upgrade them and have the resource upgrade them. So if it doesn't pan out very early on, or the enemy somehow does manage to push you back with light armor, if the Soviets or American were to do that, that could be very, very unfortunate for the MG, stuff like that. But it seems like that is not the case. Barton is able to hold the line pretty strong. And also, he has enough forces. Hopefully, he puts down some teller mines or other minefields to really cause the Allies some grief. But looks like the Allies might be causing the Axis some grief with a Stuart on the field. Bundle grenade being thrown. Unfortunately, no good targets. But the health of this infantry is very low, even though they have a good chunk of models. So they're forced to retreat, but because they're so low, they're getting kills on the retreat. 3 models dead from that unit, just retreating. Unfortunate. Meanwhile, we have conscript squad trying to get around the MG, but the flamethrowers giving them heck. Wait, what the hell? Was that what in God's name? Flamethrower shooting at least a few hundred feet. I know some tanks could have some good yardage with their flamethrower, but I didn't know a Pioneer squad could. All right, I'm sorry. Apparently, Pioneer squad is like a couple 100-foot range. That's my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, Stuart does manage to push back the Volk squad. Do we have any AT by Orangepest? No, but a Puma is currently in development. And remember, Panzerfusiliers do have that long-range AT grenade at their disposal, so this thing does need to keep its range. Now, does he have any support? Well, no. The best thing he has is a lieutenant, which could get a bazooka team, but right now, that is simply not the case, and Stuart's keeping himself close to the front. Panzerfaust would cripple it. And unfortunately, with a Puma about to be on the field, things do not look good for this Stuart. Does Olvadi have any support? No. Olvadi is getting a T-70. Does he have AT grenades? No. So the Puma has 2 light tanks to go hunting. Oh, no. Great grenade on that unit. Pioneer Squad continuing to just hit. Oh, well, yeah. Continuing to hit this area. Hold on. We're going to have a flame battle going on? Nope. We have a Puma and Stuart. That's more important right now than just 2 flamethrowers going at it. Vision block, try to stop it. Puma falling on back. I'm assuming worried about the infantry, but if he only knew. If he only knew. Anyway, Panzerfaust Squad has been upgraded. Gonna hold the line, try to grab that important fuel. And again, if the Axis can get double fuel advantage, also Puma trying to just ram itself in there. Just do as much damage as possible. But unfortunately, that Lieutenant's just really just stuck in there. Also, Stuart's healing. Looks like we have a paratrooper squad coming on in to support. Flamethrower from the Soviet angle is being pushed back. The other flamethrower one was driven back as well. T-70 being Panzerfausted from the flank. Puma realizing, oh, there's a second one? Oh, my lucky day. And is going to go and get some nice shots at the T-70. Conscript Squad rushing on in. They do have AT grenades now at the very least. Can he jump the... Oh, jump the high wall? Nope. He's like, nah, no reason to. 50 cows now in the building. Panzer Grenadier Squad could throw a bundle at some point in there if they really wanted to hold him back. Stuart as well, giving us all. Puma has 2 juicy targets, but so far been unable to get the kill. Bundle grenade being thrown over there. Riflemen and Pathfinders going in and grabbing this territory on the right. And yeah, for those who are asking, this map is Rails and Metal. That was the same map as last round. Conscripts rushing on in against the Puma. Puma realizing, yeah, I'm not going to be in this fight. But remember, it still can fire long range and do some good shots against infantry. Plus, if they get in cover, he can fire shots and remove its cover. Not what's exact purposes, but that's what it can do. While the Volk Squad just slowly wears it down. Though I do find it weird how they are in medium cover. Oh, no, the fence. The fence. My apologies. It's one of like these scenarios where there's something blocking the better cover. I'm like, why can't I just destroy it and use it? German forces coming in on the flank of the American. Not much stopping them. The 50 cal was driven back. Although coming back up. We do have an ambulance there being some heals. Sturm Pioneers and again the Sturm Officer trying to put some shots. Stuart coming on in. We got a Panzerfaust opportunity. I mean, he's right there. Puma getting a nice shot on the Stuart, driving it back. A little... Oh, he doesn't have the munitions for it. Okay. Ah, unfortunate. T-70 as well, now in mid. Puma backing on up to fight the T-70, but so far unable... It's getting out and hits the fence. Once again, that dreaded fence. Pathfinders opening fire against the Germans as they desperately try to grab that fuel, but I don't think they'll have the manpower to really hold off this MG. Well, the Lieutenant, and now we have an AT gun. M1 on the field to hold back, hopefully, that Puma. Meanwhile, we do have some infantry fighting on left with the Pioneers fighting a conscript. T-70 coming on in to help. Again, very good against infantry, so not a bad idea. But Puma now redeploying to fight it. But the high wall right there takes the shot. Second high wall hit of the day. And the T-70 still fighting off the Pioneers. Oh, hold on. There we go. Stuart currently fighting the Sturm Pioneer Squad. Do they have any AT or snares? No. They don't have a ton of munitions as well, so doing that could cost them like other abilities as well. So not a lot of reserves. Barton's a little better, but compared to the Allies doing great with their munitions. Puma coming on the side. M1's turning. Puma might try to go in for the kill there. He can take a shot, but Stuart is incredibly low. Panzerfusileer maybe? You could try to go in. Oh, he does. It is killed. The Puma is dead. I'm actually surprised by that. But yeah, he managed to get another shot in. Good job. Puma is KO'd. Jaeger Squad pulling on back. And the Stuart just slowly trying to get out of there. I thought the Puma would have an easy win. Turns out, not the case. The armor is a little more sly than he probably would have expected. Oh my god, T-70 having a field day with the infantry, and also Panzer headquarters being developed, so hopefully some better infantry and armor can be deployed. MG falling back, so this squad, although suppressed, will eventually grab the point if they're uncontested. Conscripts are grabbing mid, and the allies are pushing up elsewhere to try to advance. Paratroopers with LMGs. They are getting very close. Just pointing out Thompson's. Just Thompson's. But looks like they will get the kill on that, so very good job. M1 opening fire on the Panzer headquarters. T-70 as well, putting shots on the Volks with the conscripts as well. It is half dead already. Not a good sign. Sturmofficer trying to come in to help out his ally, though conscripts are right there to support. Very low on health. Orangepest, no. Luckily, it's only 60 fuel and about 100 manpower. So it is a loss, but it's not a drastic loss as previous Panzer headquarters, but pre-patches have been going. Conscripts falling on back. Allies now have 2 victory points and a good chunk of territory. Germans, though, not out of the woods yet. Army-wise, it is dead even. Everyone has 47 population right now. So things could go either way. We do have a Stug on the field. Hopefully that has better luck fighting these light armored vehicles. But the M1 is right there. Again, love the fact that that's a thing. So it's like, no, we want the American stuff. And although the American equipment are currently under fire from the Panzerfusilier squad with the upgrade. Unfortunately, though, that MG is right there, keeping them a bit busy. Stewart providing support. Stu going on in, but double AT grenade and the AT gun open fire. He could extend his range, and he already has the added bonus of his special rounds going into play. Can he get the final shot? Extended rounds are in place, but I don't think he'll manage it. Very long, but unfortunately not long enough. And the Stug manages to live. And the Soviets take some decent casualties while trying to push on into a lot of MG and infantry fire. So the Germans hopefully will come on in. A lot of MGs currently guarding mid, so infantry are going to have a little bit of trouble. Olvadi going mechanized support tactics. Where have I seen that before? I don't know, chat. You fill me in on that one. Volk squad putting some cover as they take the point, and Jaeger squad as well. So again, not bad. Stu getting some needed heals, although the American looks like he's gearing up for a counterattack with his Stuart still in play, still doing what he can. Now, Fire and Terror, as you can see, does have a major and a decent amount of fuel, so most likely the next 2 minutes, I would expect a vehicle to be deployed. Whether it's a Sherman, I would probably recommend, as right now there's a lot more infantry. We have a Puma, another Puma on the field. Okay. So Orangepest really liking the Puma. Note, when deploying that will delay him, well, getting his Panzer headquarters on the field, and also eventually any additional armor, such as the Jagdtiger. But that's a risk reward at Code 2. Do you go for the lighter vehicle that, even though can't stand up to the later stuff, can still hold out now? Or do you risk it for the biscuit and save up, but unfortunately lose to lighter vehicles because you had no good counters for them? But anyway, MG opening fire. Stewart falling on back. Stug as well going on in. Orangepest, a lot of conscripts just putting shots on target. Stu getting one nice shot on the Stewart, though AT gun redeploying to fight them. Infantry using that cover very well. Same thing with the conscripts. Again, they could hit them this way or from behind, but I don't think they want to move to do that. MG, though, moving in to do exactly that. And major artillery coming on in, I would assume. Driving them back. Conscripts, though, rushing on in. No Molotov at their disposal, so don't expect any fire. But we do have just normal bullets at the MG in the back. Panzer Grenadiers, though, going to try to stop them from, well, pushing back the MG. Manages to do so, and he's going to fall back pretty well. T-70 at half health, coming into the front to keep the Panzer Grenadiers back, which, again, now no Panzer Strikes on these guys. G43 rifles, because of the doctrine of choice. Stewart coming on in. This is the first time we've seen both units in action. And right now they're doing what they can to hold the front. Some great shots by the Stug on the Stewart. And yes, drives the enemy back. Oh, watch out. Don't destroy the cover. Panzer Grenadiers putting shots on the infantry. And hopefully maybe bundle grenade the AT gun. Oh, can even see that. Oh, no, he can't. It's camouflaged. The Soviets' doctrine allows for camouflaged AT. So that applies to any AT gun. So I love it. He's hiding it. He's waiting. He's keeping it totally fine. But a small low American counterattack with some paratroopers are currently holding back the Volks and the Sturmofficer from trying to take this territory and stop the Americans from doing anything of major note. Stu diving in, maybe against the light armor, unsure. Maybe he's just trying to destroy the cover. Whatever the case may be, pulling on back. AT gun also moving into that sector. Conscripts trying to take the point, but way too much German stuff at that point. Though, I will take note that even though it's 17 minutes in and the Germans do have advantage right now, VP point-wise, still pretty even. And resource-wise, still pretty even. Population-wise, Germans are slightly down compared to the Allies, but I would say still pretty even. So it's still anyone's game in this regard until we start seeing some bigger and better tanks. Speaking of which, the Sherman is being deployed. But that being said, with the doctrine that he chose, don't expect dozer blades or anything like that. Lieutenant firing on the Volk squad, trying to give it everything he got. Puma, though, going on in. Will this Puma finally kill the Roadrunner of this game? The Stuart that's just been causing all sorts of grief. AT-gun gets a nice shot. Puma on the retreat of all things. Jaeger squad advancing. He does have a Panzerfaust. He gets out of it. What? Oh, okay. He got out of it. I'm assuming to stop the Panzerfaust from occurring. But, oh my god, that was a bit risky right there, but it worked. Fire and Terror dodged or at least stopped the Panzerfaust from occurring. Oh my god. Love it. Stu being hit by the AT gun again. Everyone's like, man, the Soviet one's so good, but these American ones have been just causing so much grief for the Germans. Barton, I'm just like, all right, we kill it. For all infantry, focus on it. We take it out now. T-70 getting some nice pop shots and repositioning to make sure the AT gun is covered. Conscripts in cover. Engineer squad. Yeah, I can't talk. Still trying to help. Bundle grenade hitting and forcing them back. Conscripts coming along the side. And a lot of infantry on the retreat. T-70, though, not going after them because, this thing's here. But conscripts are there doing a bit of an oorah to get close, but the MG stops them in their tracks. Infantry coming in from behind might try to get a kill on the retreat or a hit there. Hold on. Okay, I was going to say, why is his infantry so far forward? Did something die? No. So far, I don't see anything. He does have a Panzer headquarters up now. So he does have that. It's back here. MG being hit by light infantry. Again, if he retreats, he's going to run in. Luckily, he's just retreating to his other MG. So again, Barton's luring him in, realizing the situation. Now, the question is, does he have smoke? No, he doesn't have the upgrade. So right now, he can't deploy a major smoke or something like that. Katusha opening fire. Sherman's in mid, mind you, as well. And the Americans are doing whatever they can to push forward and break this Axis force in two. MG forced back. T-70 as well with the Katusha. Drove them back. Volk squad's coming up with the Stug. Again, love this teamwork at play. On both sides, a lot of good teamwork, a lot of good helping out between infantry and factions, so really nice job there. Brumbar about to be deployed, mind you. Orangepest yet to really deploy anything. Again, that Puma dying unfortunately did cost him. Stug trying to run over the infantry. A little trouble, but, you know, kept him at bay. Sherman now coming on in. Also Don trying to hold down the building, though grenades being thrown in there. Nice shot with the Stug. Fortunately, the hill making it hard to see everything, but right now the Germans are on the back foot while the Allies are trying to hold this location down with a lot of their AT guns and infantry trying to push over it. But they have to worry about the Panzer headquarters on this side of the hill. They have to worry about a lot more German infantry coming in from the flanks. And again, in the meantime, the Germans are capturing munitions and trying to go for mid, but unfortunately that 50 cal is keeping them at bay. Puma, though, might try to go in, but again, you still have to worry about the AT guns, including the one that's camouflaged. Pushing on up, Major Vet 2. Very nice. We have a lot of artillery barrage coming on in. Going to stop them from decapping the fuel and hopefully do a dismount to infantry. But nope. Even though it does stop the fuel cap, it doesn't really do much to the infantry. They pull back in the nick of time. Though Major Artillery is about to call down. And since he's Vet 2, yeah, it's going to be a bit more shells than the Germans might be used to. Meanwhile, we got the Stuart Vet 3 coming back up onto the field, doing its best. T-70 over here with the Sherman and Katusha. A lot of armor over here by the Allies. Germans, though, holding the fuel with everything they got. Panzer Grenadiers getting behind cover. Brumbar now on the field. AT gun slowly backing up because the camouflage reduces speed. Katusha coming on in. Oh my god, Panzer so low, but trying to dodge the rockets to keep himself alive. Worried if he possibly retreats, he loses the unit. Waits for it to be finished. Nice job with the Brumbar, getting some nice shots. Unfortunately, doesn't decrew. Mark targets now going over the Brumbar, making it easier to kill with the AT gun. So not bad. Also, AT gun still hitting that armor from all the way on the other side of the hill. Oh, that's great. Anyway, Germans, though, do manage to take mid and doing some nice little pushes over here. Volk squad moving on in. Incendiary pushing them back out of the building while Panzerfusiliers come around the other flank. So most likely this MG will be overwhelmed until the American support coming on in. Fire and Terror saying, no, Orangepest, you will not take this side. And yeah, at the very least, they'll hold on to their fuel while the Germans take over their VP. Again, right now, Germans a bit lower than the Allies. But oof, it's still anyone's game right now. Also, we still got some decrewed German units they could always take if they really need some additional AT or something. Meanwhile, fighting is going on the right. Almost Don and Volk squad's opening fire, but Incendiary going off on the MG. He's gonna have to get out of the building stat. Luckily, the Stuart's coming in play. Gets a nice shot on the Volk squad from the side. Almost Don. Oh, the MG very low on health. Stuart coming on in. Can we get a Panzerfaust? No, because Orangepest is lacking the munitions. He does not have the capabilities for a Panzerfaust right now. Nor does he probably want to, as his infantry is very low, and the Stuart will probably give him a very bad day. Meanwhile, Fire and Terror getting some good shots in with his armor on the retreating infantry. Puma, though, getting some nice shots on the Sherman up to Veterancy 2. Definitely making the Sherman have to deal with the Puma a little bit more, as it's a little more capable. You can't just, oh, it's just a, you know, recruit Puma. This should be easy to. No, it has a bit additional abilities and other things you need to worry about. Ugh. That being said, if he has munitions to use it at this point. Man, by the way, Olvadi saving up for the ICU-152 in case you're wondering, wait, where's the rest of the Soviet armor? That's what he's saving up for. Strike coming on in. We gonna move? Okay, he does move a little late, but at least he'll hopefully get out of there in time. Building collapses. Stuart firing pop shots at the Panzerfusilier squad, keeping them at bay. Allied infantry taking back mid and trying to push left. Katusha fire coming on in on that MG. Meanwhile, Jackson coming on in on the Brumbar. Again, turning yourself to the enemy. We've seen that go really wrong so many times. Luckily for Kenworfer, there is the support if he goes in for the dive. So, Allies looking pretty stacked with their armor, at least for the US faction. Nope. Soviet faction now looking pretty damn sweet. ISU-152 on the field. Very good against armor and infantry alike. Germans don't have a great counter to that. They have a Stug. And they have a Puma. That's their best armor to deal with an ISU-152. Not great. Not great at all. But at the very least, they'll do what they can. Meanwhile, you still got the Jackson and everything else on the field. So Allies looking much beefier with their armor. Fire and Terror trying to push in to grab this point, but the German forces are not letting him have it. Meanwhile, Panzerfaust hitting the Stuart. No! Not the Stuart! Unfortunately, it finally gets KO'd by the Kenworfer, which is now firing on the Sherman of all things. Oh, that's a big loss right there. That was a nice Stuart, but he definitely got revenge. Sherman knocked out the Kenworfer, but it gets remanned by the Volk and taken back to base. Meanwhile, Allied forces are managing to take over the other VP, and actually every other VP has been decapped or taken over to the Allied position. I love it. He's just like, I'm gonna repair on the VP because, you know, 2 for 1. Get everything done. So right now we got, oh boy, paratroopers coming on in. Hopefully you don't crash into anything. Nope. It looks like we have a good drop and no infantry to stop them. No breaking of the Geneva Convention here. Anyway, let's see. MG and PAC currently guarding the hill. Conscripts probably, that's why the conscripts probably don't want to push up any further. ISU-152 is in mid. Just firing high explosive rounds at, wait, did he just fire at, no, he didn't. Okay. He's definitely trying to hit the MG still. Jackson on standby as well. Luckily, Barton is deploying a Panther onto the field. Orangepest is saving up for the Jagdtiger. So, mate, where the Elephant fell apart last game, maybe, just maybe, the Jagdtiger can change that tide and show how good German tank destroyers are. Jackson being hit by a Panzerfusilier's AT grenade. Germans doing a lot better munitions, so good job for them saving up and actually being able to hold some additional territory for some time. Puma coming on in on the Sherman with the Canwiffer coming in support. Sherman down to low health. Needs to get out of there. Jackson's still being healed, so he can't do fire support. Puma's going up for the dive. Jackson recrewed, but not quickly enough. Unfortunately, wasn't able to do that damage, and the Puma gets out. Veteran C3 fires a shot through. Unfortunately, hits the house, and great kill, knocking out the Sherman. Meanwhile, IS-152 still on the front, hitting infantry, coming on in to help, and we still got some battling going on. Conscript's very low and dies. Oh, we're seeing some units lost left and right on the Allied side. This is not the time to start losing units. Anyway, they're still trying to hold this point, whatever they can. Pack opening fire on the T-70. IS-152 still could probably hit all that stuff if it wanted to. Though Jagdtiger's on the field, getting Greyshot on the Jackson, forcing it back. Really great job there. And finally, the Germans have a mighty tank destroyer on their side. Meanwhile, Panther's on the field, looking a lot better with the armor now. And the Brumbar, with the proper support, managed to get on the AT gun, though AT guns are still a prevalent issue. T-34 being deployed, Panzer Grenadiers as well, fighting the Riflemen, but being suppressed by, well, 50 cal in the building. Alright, explosive rounds being fired, but too much AT fire is currently forcing it back. Plus, again, you have to worry about the Major. Rapid barrage, or heck, maybe a fake barrage. Now, Fire and Terror could deploy P-47s if he wants to save up for it. But the Germans could always try to shoot down with the Panzer headquarters. Or like some form of anti-air. German infantry holding back, trying to kill that Vet 3 AT gun. No! Did anyone else find it funny that the Soviet has 2 American AT guns? No? No, just me? Okay. Anyway, Germans trying to fight for that midpoint. We do have artillery coming on in. Well, artillery barrage, to be exact. Does kill the other AT gun. That's a big loss for the Soviets, though they could be recruited. Artillery saying, nope, that is not going to happen. Meanwhile, MG being suppressed by this other MG. And Brumbar's making sure the other infantry doesn't come up on its flank. Although double munition cap by the Allies definitely going to help them out in terms of resources. Although a lot of German armor finally on the field. Although they definitely, absolutely need some repairs. What are the Allies looking at? We got double Jacksons. So that should give the Jagdtiger a run for its money. If they can go in for the side. Remember, they need to go in from the side, hit. If they fight from the front, it's going to be a bit of a hard fight. But in the rear, oh boy, that's an easy win. Now, T-34 could also pin, but they also have to worry about all the additional armor as well. It also looks like Orangepest lost a decent amount of units. Nice dive! Jacksons, are they going to focus on it? IL-2 bomb strike inbound, ladies and gentlemen. Coming on in. Will it be close enough? Nope. Oh, yes, it is. Gets the kill, gets the shot, and there goes the Jagdtiger. Excellent play right there. Oh, my God. Nice stun, getting so many units. But, yeah, German infantry going to rush on in, try to help out and keep the Allies at bay, while the rest of the armor is having some issues being driven back. Pack 40, maybe move up a little bit. IC-152, though, is still there, which is probably why he hasn't done so with explosive rounds. He's now turning to see the German infantry. But again, that means all the rest of the armor, he doesn't have to worry about it, you know, cracking it open like a walnut. Brumbar opening fire in the MG. Nice long-range shots on the Jackson, but gets out. Low health. Oh, Puma going in for the dive! Decrewed 1. Another one is still operational. Puma trying to get the kill. Vet 4. They're both decrewed! Oh my God. Alright, Puma executing both of them, making sure you double tap that armor. And both Jacksons are down. Nice shot though on the infantry. Puma going in from the rear. And is there any support coming in? Yes, we have an, oh my God, an American Verkanwerfer. But the IS-252 has to back up. Oh my God, Puma getting another shot on the T-70. Verkanwerfer trying to get a shot, drops smoke. Did he fire the AT grenade? No, he did not. He's still going. The Puma is still going. This one is not like his forefather. He is getting everything he can out of this one. Oh my God, so low on health. Will the MGs kill it? I think so. I think it's, oh my God, AT grenade as well. Oh, Verkanwerfer got it. But that was a amazing play by the Puma. Stug now trying to replicate the Puma. But a little too much, man. Unless he's like, I don't care at this point. Just take me. You killed my best friend. Take me with you. I want to go with him. Oh, but the Stug unfortunately does, unfortunately goes as well. But right now, oh, Fire and Terror losing all of his armor support. Olvadi, while the IC-152 is still in the field, losing a lot of his infantry support. Orangepest losing his big battle tank destroyer, but unfortunately having some issues there because he doesn't have the resources to get additional armor. But he does have some good veteran units. Right now, Barton looking like the best player on the field right now with not only good infantry, but still some good armor left. So, oh boy. Good counterattack by Orangepest. Holy mackerel. That was a great play right there, man. That was a fantastic play. But what matters is that you're able to take advantage of that. Right now, the Americans trying to take mid. You got some battling going on over here with an MG currently fighting a Sturm Officer, although at 5. Yeah, unfortunately, probably going to suppress them. American infantry going to hold them back. Oh, the right-hand side will stay under Allied control for the time being. Middle, probably not. Some great shots with the Brumbar stops that in its tracks. Jackson being deployed, but again, we're going to need additional AT for them to really stand a chance against all this armor. Katusha coming in, stopping them from taking the point. Oh, boy. Yeah, 90 populations. Right now, the Germans still on the back foot with VPs. But it's not, they're not too far away. It's not like 500 to 30. It's still decently close overall. Anyway, paratroopers coming on in. And IC-152's on the front, now focusing on the Brumbar for Kenworth going back. Soviet forces sending in what they can. And then at least they're getting additional AT. Oh, it looks like they're also sending a tree in the battle. Rushing on in there. The branch, unfortunately, does stop near their echelons. Unfortunately, it looks like he's all out of gas. Brumbar coming on in. Excellent shot. Will the conscript make it back? Super low on health. Looks like he will. We have a strike coming on in. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Allied air support coming in to change the tune of the battle. Plus T-34. Waiting on the flank for something. Not sure what. Hitting the Brumbar with all the rockets it can. Oh my god, even a kamikaze! We're looking, oh my god! P-47 making sure that Brumbar does not get out of play. Oh my god. Oh my god. Man, that anti-air, both a blessing and a curse. So there goes the Pioneer Squad as well. Barton gonna have a bit more of an issue versus infantry. Oh, good, he's getting another one. That... I'm sorry. Oh. Just amazing use of the Air Force right there. Americans going above and beyond, taking some of the Japanese tactics they've learned over in the Pacific Theater to really make sure they can win this game against the Germans. Oh my god. IC-152 providing armor infantry support to try to hold back the Sturm Officer. Meanwhile, Panther trying to come along the flank. Just not able to get some deep strikes though. There's a lot of AT still in the region. Oh my god. AT guns still hold in mid will hopefully keep these armor back. They still have to worry about the MG. And as well as the IC-152's uncanny ability to wipe infantry from afar. Butler artillery coming on in against all the support equipment. And yeah, they're pulling on back for the time being. He's using a lot of artillery. And he's using it more as a deflection, more as a killing. Oh my god, hold on. Katusha opening fire. Panther trying to go in for the shot. Will it take it? No, it hits the ground. And the infantry does die from that Katusha. T-34 going on in. German infantry falling back. Oh, God. Nice shot. Good shots all around. Looks like the Allies will hold on to this point. Now it's a little bit more of a tricky situation because the Germans, unfortunately, while Orangepest is saving up for another Jagdtiger, they don't have a ton of VPs. So they need to make sure they, A, hold on to this one for all dear life, and B, try to do what they can to grab the middle one, even if it does cost them some infantry. They need to grab another point before they lose this game. Again, but the best thing to do is wait. Are the Soviets in a good position? For the most part. They're bringing up equipment. They still have a lot of American armor support. They're looking pretty fierce in mid. So that if they're going to attack, they're going to need everything they have in one final swoop. Or, instead of attacking mid, they could always attack an area that is less defended. Again, always point out the fact that in games, you want to make sure you can hit the enemy where possibly they least suspect it. Right now, with all the allied armor in mid, a attack through the southern position might be the best idea. And come on, that wouldn't be the first time the Germans were like, okay, the north is pretty stacked, let's hit the south and give it our best. Meanwhile, Panthers having some issues defending the territory. Jackson's providing some good support to hold back the armor. Getting some great shots. No bounces today. All pens. German infantry trying to get some sight. Panthers still firing shots, although the Jacksons are shredding them. Down to half health. They are at least still keeping this map contested, but I don't know for how long. Panther, unfortunately, does die. Barton pulling back. MG grabbing mid. Oh, boy. ISUM-52's in mid. Jagdtiger's on the field. Extra engine upgrade, so it's going to move a little faster. Unfortunately, one problem. No infantry support. That's my biggest concern right now. Though gets a great shot on the ISUM-52. Panther going in for the dive. Bad idea. Barton loses both Panthers in that offensive. Again, I am assuming he was trying to go in for this great, swing. Misses the shot with the Jagdtiger. And now, prepare, ladies and gentlemen, for this thing to be absolutely swarmed. It has no infantry support, no way for assistance, and the Allies are going to overwhelm this thing, rushing it, getting behind at its juicy rear target, and yeah, just annihilate it. And even after an amazing counterattack with a Puma, that was probably my second highlight of the game. Kamikaze Americans and some really great armor tactics and some great AT gun support really helped the Allies clinch victory in this game, which actually is a win for I see this here because again I'm love the pack, which is a win for Fire Terror and Olvadi, which brings it to 1-1 right now in this series. Oh boy, fantastic. Let's look at damage real quick, and again, good job to Olvadi and Fire and Terror for winning that game against Orangepest and Barton. Right now, Fire and Terror, oh boy, getting most kills and most damage right now as the American. I'm assuming the Jacksons really did that. Hold on. Oh, Puma. Hold on. Real quick. Orangepest. Slightly more damage, less kills. Barton definitely did a bit more. But definitely the MVP for him was the Puma. Absolutely. Love it. That Puma did so much damage. Jackson's ton of damage. Gotta give it up. Gotta give it up for the Jacksons and their support. Olvadi. I'm assuming the ISU-152. No, I love it. The best Soviet weapon. The American AT gun. Ah, of course. And again, he didn't have one or two. He managed to crew 4 of them. And they did almost 12,000 damage. So really good job there using the American AT guns to their full advantage. And of course the conscripts doing what they do best and hold the line. Real quick, let's double check on Barton's best unit. I'm assuming the Brumbar? No, Panzer Grenadier, 71 kills, doing some great effort at just slaughtering the enemy with their G43 rifles. Again, Germans did very well and had some great strikes. Once again, Orangepest and Barton waiting for the opportunity to strike. Unfortunately, it looks like this time Fire and Terror and Olvadi, for the most part, made sure that wasn't the case. That they weren't able to do a lot of deep strikes. They got a really damn good one. But even if that after the case, they still waited, they bided their time. And when Barton dove in those Panthers, hoping for another amazing dive, just didn't come to pass. The Allied line was too thick for them, and they got shredded. Anyway, great game once again, and we'll see what happens next. The best game yet. Yeah, and by the way, favorite clip of the day, the Kamikaze. That P-47, he gave all for his country. And by God, it worked out really well. Hello, everyone. This is Greyshot 117, bringing you the final game with Fire and Terror and Olvadi versus BartonPL and Orangepest. It's the last fight between these two teams, and it has been one hell of a road to get here with amazing Puma plays, Kamikaze Americans, some great dives by German armor. Just plenty of great, interesting action all around. Anyway, so yes, one outskirts. And again, a Soviet and American versus an OKW and a Wehrmacht. We've had, again, really great two games so far. This is the third game right now, and we'll see who pulls out on top in this map. It is a new map. The last two maps were on rails and metal, and now we're on a little bit more open, yet a little more clustered in specific areas. I mean, I'm looking at you, Forest area over here. So we'll see who pulls out on top. Stern Pioneers going as far forward as they can. Good idea jumping out because Rifleman, again, looks like he's just going base Rifleman on the front, fire into areas. Unfortunately, only has one window over here, so they can't exactly fire at their optimum capacity. So, oh boy. Right now, by the way, I don't, honestly, I do not know who picked faction on the last. It was probably up to whoever had the most VPs overall, and I was not keeping track of that, so I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. But in any case, Soviets going pure conscript as well. So it looks like the Americans are going a pure frontline force. Meanwhile, Barton bringing up MGs and also Pioneers to the table. Again, I just imagine a lovely scout car just having a nice little stroll through the park and murdering Germans. But looks the conscripts will have to do the job. And the question is, no, they will not get... Oh, it looks like they will have an opportunity. Conscripts diving the MG. Where's the second MG? It is currently over in another part of the map. Conscripts getting shots, but not getting kills. Oh, wait. They might be able to. They're going for cover. And they should be able to continue to put some pressure on target. Pioneers using close range damage to push those conscripts back. And also the engineers putting shots over here. American forces driving off the Volk squad. So far, only one model down for the Americans. Conscripts definitely taking more losses, but that MG is over half health dead. Stern Pioneers coming on in. Might get the kill. Orangepest, can he get the first kill of the game? He's going on in. He's putting lots of shots on target. And he gets the kill. Only if we had Victor here to say the percentage chance of each of those shots hitting. Anyway, Engineer squad going back behind the cover. Stern Pioneers helping hold this building until the MG, I'm assuming, gets in there. But at least keeping the conscripts at bay. So unfortunately, the Soviets having a bit of trouble on this side. But the Americans doing a lot better on other fronts. This Volk squad's having a real rough day. And right now, there's 9 men firing at one window. Hopefully they get some shots. Yep. And they drive them back. Victory point's going to go over to the Americans. They do have the fuel on this point. Germans have the fuel over here. So before anyone says double fuel, that is not the case yet. Conscripts getting around the MG. Do we have Molotovs? No Molotovs. Dang it. I want a nice Soviet Molotov right here. That would be perfect. But the conscripts will just bring the MG down to very low health. That's 2 MGs very low. We do have Panzer Grenadiers coming back in. Same doctrine as before, Jäger Infantry doctrine. So hopefully that provides some nice support with Panzer Grenadiers, the G43 rifles. Volk squads coming on in to try. Oh wow, not even fully healed. Was that a misclick? Yeah, he left a little early. But I think it'll be enough damage. American forces trying to hold, but it might be a little too much for him. Though, nice, again, for those who are wondering why he pushed here, as you can see, he did cut off the territory. So, all the resources the Germans just spent that time pushing forward and trying to grab, yeah, they don't have it. They haven't gotten it yet. Nice incendiary pushes back the engineer squad. Conscripts retreating as well. Way too many Germans on this front. Meanwhile, Fire and Tower is like, yeah, I'm just going to capture more territory on the left. There's not really much going on. Conscripts very low, capturing territory on the far right. I don't know why you're suppressed or crawling, but hey, it looks cool. And you got out of the building in one piece for the most part. Okay, they're pulling back, hopefully behind some cover. And unfortunately, though, for the Germans, 1 VP is right now on the Allied side. The other 2 have still been not captured by either party. So yeah, this is a best of 3. So again, whoever wins this will definitely hold supreme. Now anyway, Volk squad looks like they're trying to do their own thing, and they do, decapping the point so the Allies don't get the resources now, even though they've captured their own point. Engineer squad holding the building. Again, I'm assuming we're going to save on up. It would be awesome if we saw a sniper, but it looks like that will not come to pass. Although, that would be amazing if later on we do see a sniper, but the Soviets have pretty much gone around that. Conscripts pushing on in. Where's the Oh my god. Okay. We've got urban defense tactics. For those complaining about the ICM-52, don't worry. We don't. That will not come to factor in this round. Now, that mean the Allies will instantly lose because of it? Probably not. Probably not, as any doctrine can be used in a good if used in a good way or a good environment. This map, I could see urban defense coming into play because of the buildings scattered around at key points to kind of just hold areas and make sure they can reinforce. That could be important, but again, the Axis could always counter with artillery. But we'll see. We'll see. A lot of Volk squads being deployed by Orangepest. One squad trying to hold this point, but Americans coming in to save the day. Meanwhile, Panzer Grenadiers pushing on these forces. Flamethrower there. Here, let's get a better perspective. Currently burning the Panzer Grenadiers as they try to push for cover. They do manage to get to cover though, and the Soviets are like, yeah, we're not dealing with this. Oh, they do explode the fuel tank, and that kills the engineer squad. Shock troops though coming on in. A little bit of payback. Bundle grenade being thrown at the cover. Shock troops take a little damage, but aren't falling for it. And now we're going to go after those Panzer Grenadiers. I don't think they'll get any good hits. And now that those MGs do need to worry, as smoke grenades are on the table for the Germans. I'm sorry, the Soviets. But the MG will suppress them. Smoke being thrown? No, he wasn't able to in time. The double MG suppressed him way too quickly. Although, heavy cav is not on the table, which brings in a smoke drop from the high above. So maybe they'll be able to use that to get around the MGs that currently Barton has in play. But yeah, so far Orangepest is yet to deploy or faction of choice, or doctrine of choice. Curious to see if the Yag Tiger. I mean, I would like to see something a little different. Out of the three, I'm always a big fan of the Sturb Tiger. If we see an Orangepest doing elite Sturb Tiger action, that would make my day. Anyway, MG are redeploying. Try to hit this thing. They did use armor-piercing rounds, but yeah, they ran out of that. So the Allied forces pushing hard left. The Germans, though, going in for that fuel. Going straight for it. Meanwhile, half-track, I don't know what it's chilling for. Oh, there's a Puma. Yeah, they have to keep it close now. Do you have AT grenades? You do not. But, again, you can always make yourself appear like you have AT grenades by charging the enemy, even though it's kind of a feint. Meanwhile, armor-piercing rounds annihilating that engineer squad. Oh, God, please live. Alright, they made it back to base. Good. Anyway, conscripts, again, no AT grenades. And, although they do have a lot of munitions, I'll give them that. I think Orangepest just realized, wait, he doesn't have AT grenades. Okay, well, I can just go ham on him then. Captain gonna have a bit of trouble versing all those Volk squads, but half-track coming on in, try to suppress. Puma, though, could redeploy to the other front. They do have some American forces with AT grenades, hopefully keeping him at bay. Will it? Unsure. A little bit unsure in that regard. Because, again, they need to get close. And they don't have a ton of munitions, so they have to make their first shot count. American forces, though, all with bars, so that's where he spent all of his resources at. And, yeah, they're now a damn good fighting force, driving the enemy back and taking a good chunk of territory in the meantime. Meanwhile, Puma firing some shots on target. Half-track coming on in. They do not care. They're trying to keep that Puma away. Soviets, though, having trouble with the Panzer Grenadiers. And now there's a 222 on the field. So it's trying to provide some support in case something light comes out. They can at least help. Half-track still providing some fire. Puma going in, though. With the rifleman at bay, he needs to move something else in. Otherwise, the Puma might go in. Drops the smoke. Still using direct shots, though, to hit the half-track and keep the half-track from opening out. Well, against the German infantry. Stun grenade being thrown. A little high, though. Doesn't get the stun off. American forces keeping the Puma back. Again, it's a delaying tactic. But it seems to be working. Puma, though, could fire from long range to keep him at bay. Panzer Grenadiers, though, coming in around the side. And actually will probably, if they take this point, decap the entire Allied line of resources that now Fire and Terror was able to get in. Oh, boy. Shock troops coming on in. Throwing the grenade. Half-track coming on in. 222 getting... Oh, my God! Well, I was going to say... Oh, nice shot with the... Oh my God. I was about to say, man, it looks like the Germans got this one in the bag. I'm so glad I stopped myself from saying that because Barton just lost 3 units in the span of 10 seconds. Oh my God, great grenade on that unit. Puma tried to go in for the half-track, but not able to. Oh, the 45mm trying to get a shot in. Come on, M42. I know you're kind of a... Okay, you're no longer a joke, but you're kind of a joke. It's this weird half and half thing. You can do it. You can actually provide some support. But yeah, Barton gonna have to redeploy some units to get some more frontline infantry on the field. Germans, I mean, like, the Soviets have been losing quite a bit, so him losing all that is a bit of a loss. But at least he's slowly getting more forces on. Conscript's taking over this, but again, the Egger squad is in cover. Oh my god, that was an early retreat. You could have had it. You could have had the territory. Rifleman pushing on in. Still has a good fighting force. I'll give him that. And Fire and Terror is making sure he is protected. He's getting 2 M1s on the field to help cover his infantry. Though, again, the Soviet still needs to cover his flank, and right now he's having a real rough time. Losing territory right outside of his base. Even though the Americans are pushing forward to capture the fuel right now. At this point yet. Oh, Fallschirmjägers! We got Fallschirmjägers, which I just did a video on. Again, thank you, Victor. But now they're on the field. And they're just sitting there. Oh, okay, they're moving. There we go. Armor-piercing rounds now in play. Come on! Half-track has to fall back. Puma going in around. Maybe trying to go for a kill on that. Unsure. Oh my god, American forces going in. No grenade being thrown. Infantry very low on health. Fire and Terror and Olvadi having a lot more issues this round. Go, M42, go! Yep, missed the shot. Maybe another one? No? Okay. I don't know why I keep shooting there, but... Oh, he's direct firing. Half-track trying to suppress that. Puma could go in, but also low on health. Fallschirmjäger, bundle grenade. Oh, he's going to lose that rifleman, isn't he? Oh, nice shot with the Fallschirmjägers. Gets the kill. And now the AT guns are going to have some issues. Oh, he lost 2 of his riflemen, not just 1. Ooh. It's do or die for the Soviets. Fire and Terror has left at the 12-minute mark. And, yeah, he rage quit. And, that's game. Okay. Not much to say there other than the Germans really locking down Olvadi. And, unfortunately, Fire and Terror, while having a great... Again, while these two are having great games before... This time, Barton and Orangepest got their stuff together and just came down hard and fast on the Allies. Now, that being said, Olvadi did get an amazing grenade and also kill on Barton's forces. But it was not enough to turn the tide. Simply put, it was just not enough. And that's it. That's game. That goes to Barton and Orangepest, who will continue on to the next game. Super excited to see who they fight next, but you can check that out right now in the bracket. But yes, good job, Barton and Orangepest. Good victory there. Fire and Terror, sorry your time ends now, but at the very least, you show the world, or at least these viewers, that you are no laughingstock, and you gave it everything you had and delivered some excellent, amazing, sometimes comical, but usually incredible games against Barton and Orangepest. Same thing with those two as well. But fantastic work. Anyway, let's double check their scores. A lot of kills on the Allied side. Oh god, in terms of their death. Or sorry, not a lot of kills compared to their deaths. Germans doing quite a bit better. Barton specifically was just... Oh, poor Olvadi. That was just a hard time fighting with those conscripts. The MGs locked him down really, really quickly, and he just wasn't able to do that damage. They only 11 kills with the conscripts. Fire and Terror, though. Really surprised the shock troops didn't get MVP. Just saying. Rifleman doing a bit. Again, not too much in terms of MVPs. MG, so many kills. Also, Panzergrenadiers doing very well. And Orangepest, Volk squads holding on. But yeah, most damage for the Germans, Barton, and most kills, Barton. Again, just locking down the Soviet. And while Fire and Terror was doing great, Olvadi definitely kind of fell apart on his side. Though, again, probably the best play of the game on his part. But yeah, that's going to be it for this round. Hello everyone, this is Greyshot. Before you guys go, I want to give a special shout out to Patreon supporters Milam, Joey, G240, Anton, Bishara, Ion, Pyro Shark, Ace, Jakub, Ocwieja. Thank you guys so much for your amazing support. You guys rock. This has been Greyshot17 and his amazing patrons, and I'll see all of you next time.